Sup internet, it's post-production Sav. For the very first time, Linebreak Rugby have managed to all sit down in a room. And by all of us, I mean 3 people. Myself, Sav, Fred and Ed sat in a room, switched on a microphone and pretty much waffled for, might have been 2 hours, chatting about the shit, talking about rugby. And this is what we decided to put in the podcast. So enjoy. So also there were muffins involved and cookies. If you hear a full mouth, it's literally just one of us gorging on food that Ed decided to make us. Yeah, the French one is Fred as well, if that helps. If you can tell. Probably not.
Which was just
What is
ridiculous.
it with France playing 9s at 10?
We do play 10s at 9 as well.
Yeah, you did. That was... Michalak had a little stint, didn't he?
Michalak
Did his better 9 than 10.
Yeah, he is. Michalak did his not academy, but was a 9 originally, became a 10, and every now and then plays 9 again.
It's bizarre.
Wait, so he's still playing?
He's still playing. He's playing for Lyon,
See, I think
No
the,
way.
the transition between 9
and he's
10.
playing pretty well, which is weird because he went to South Africa, then he came back to France, was amazing.
Yeah.
Then he was so tired, he was
Toulon, yeah.
shit.
Hmm.
But he was so bad for like 2 years. He was fucking awful, and he kept starting for France every week.
He made bad decisions. He wasn't a bad technical player.
No, he was so
You
shit.
reckon?
Everything he did was terrible. He never tackled
No, he
and
just
got
made
injured
bad-
anyway.
Yeah, but tens and tackling.
Oh.
Look at O'Gara. The
He
man
was
never tackled.
he was horrendous. He was so bad, and and we were feeling bad for him because he was so good. And then he 1 year ago he became good again out of nowhere. Not amazing, but
He's-
solid.
I think it's just... So for me, looking at Michelin's game, I think it's decision making. But you're going to crap on that, eh?
There's nothing. He was awful.
But I think the transition...
It was stupid decisions as well. It was like, I've got a 6-on-1 overlap. I'm going to kick
Yeah,
it.
but that's what I mean. He made really bad decisions. It wasn't like...
Yeah, so he was shit.
Yeah. But his technical ability was there.
Maybe.
Dean Richards.
Yes, there we go. Sorry, Dean Richards.
Yeah. The one year when we lost to Italy the second time, so 2013,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
he, in the entire Six Nations, I think he made one outward pass from 10.
Really?
He got the ball every time
Give it into him.
inside.
Really?
It was like you're basically playing touch at a 3s amateur level. You're getting the ball off the 9, you're passing it inside, thinking,
That's almost rugby league, isn't it? Really, 1 up. That's it.
yeah, and you're making, at best 1 yard. It's fucking useless.
Yeah.
And then he made one outside
It's-
pass,
it's-
and it was such a miss. It went nowhere. It went straight onto the ground, and Italy picked it up.
Ah.
And somebody made like one of those big 10-minute long highlight videos, and they went, and you hear the BBC guy going, "Another Roman catastrophe for France," and you just see Michalak passing to the ground. I was like, oh my god, he just described our entire Six Nations in one sentence.
It's weird because you've never had bad backs, so why would the game plan be not to use them?
Because Saint-Andre when I was a good coach at Sale, I was a good coach at Toulon, I'm going to take France and fuck it up. And be absolutely retarded.
It kind of reminds me of one of Blackadder Goes Forth's episode. If you do it 17 times before, they'll think you couldn't possibly be dumb enough to do it again. And so he keeps doing it.
He was just so bad. Whereas Noves is doing, in terms of statistically, he's doing shit.
Yeah.
But when you look at the way the team is playing, you're like,
They look better.
I think it's gonna come off.
Is Plisson disappeared?
No, he's not
No,
disappeared, but
he was captain
he's
recently.
not playing very well.
Okay.
That
No,
didn't
he
stop him
was
getting
captain for
last.
one game in Argentina,
Well, still.
and he was shit.
Captain's captain, though.
He was so shit.
So was that the game they lost in Argentina?
Yeah, the first one.
Oh, was
So
it?
who captained the 27-0?
It could have been him as well, but or it was a forward. It could have been Sarzewski, but I didn't see the 27-0. I didn't watch it live. I just saw the
Oh, was that when they
highlights.
nilled Argentina?
Yeah,
Oh, Ed was banging on about that.
but it
It's quite
wasn't.
impressive to do in Argentina. Regardless
Yeah, but
of
it's
the
not.
wow.
It's Argentina's C.
Oh, was it? Not
Yeah,
bad.
it's
What was
always
their first team?
no. The first team in June couldn't give a fuck. They've got a fucking rugby championship to get ready for.
That's true.
Well, surely the June internationals would be good practice.
A few years ago, when it was, I think it was their first rugby championship. 40 or 35 Argentine players went to the US to do like a massive boot camp, and France toured and managed to lose in Argentina. win one, lose one against what is basically the under-19s.
Brilliant.
It went amazing. They were brilliant. I was like, who the fuck are those guys? No one knows them. They're
I
amazing.
saw that well, the French league's got quite a few Argentinians now, and so does the
Everyone's
So
still
does
got loads of
Aviva.
Argentinians.
So
Yeah.
before
because
before they
there's still-
got to Super Rugby, every single Argentine player was playing in the top 14.
yeah.
In Biarritz, we had 6 Argentinians
But I mean, you
That's why you
could.
went
in the
down.
prime.
There was a thread the other day. You could still probably make a fairly decent team, or at least a full 15, out of Argentinian players in the
Yeah.
in the Premiership and top 14.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at.
That should be the topic we should talk about.
Well, I can try and dig up the
Well, I
thread.
just recorded the whole thing anyhow.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
you actually?
I'm just hit record. Yeah. I just thought we'd talk.
Oh, see, I like that. I keep saying that's what we should be doing. So it's recording now.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, but you're going to have to cut that out.
We'll have to do an intro, or we'll have to do.
Well, you'll do that later. You know.
Hello, this is post-production Sav.
Brutal.
Hello, this is post-production Sav.
At
That's
least
the best I can
At
do.
least he listens.
Yeah. Well, I do as well.
For the first 10 seconds, I go, oh.
I've finally gotten over listening to my own voice. I still don't particularly like it, which is odd considering how much I talk.
Yeah. And about Quins.
Well, I could go on about England instead.
So we should say who's here, because we haven't done that.
Yeah.
Oh, can they not tell already?
Well,
I mean,
maybe.
in fairness, you sound just like Rich and also just like Alex, so it's kind of hard to tell.
We're the home counties boys. We are. And
Is
you
you-
sound like
is-
a West
is-
Country pirate. You sound. What was it?
Yeah, it's
Fred sounds.
Yeah, I was at the pub the other day last week, and this guy was like, "Oh, you sound like you're from the West Country." It's like, "Fuck off."
It's the home. Yeah, it's the home counties accent.
And I said, "Arr," and fucked off.
Robbed him with all his
So,
meat.
say you've got a combine harvester.
I've never been to the West Country.
You
Oh
know,
shit! Does Exeter count as the West Country? Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. Yeah, okay, I've been
So
once.
does Bath and.
Yeah, I've been to Bath
I went to
like
Devon when I was
15
8.
years ago once.
Oh, you went to Devon.
When I was 8.
Is that the only time you've been down?
Yeah.
Jesus,
Oh no, we
I
went.
used to spend all
It's
that
Oh, 2
summer
months
there.
ago.
We went very close to Devon back at the beginning of last year. One of my friends did his passing out as a Royal Marine, and so we went down to their base or whatever, which is near Devon.
All right.
So I got close.
I think
Oh.
I've been there
That's
every
probably
year.
it.
I'm pretty sure.
What club did you play for in Exeter?
Me.
Yeah.
I'm.
Oh no, not Exeter. Bristol. Was it Bristol?
Oh, Bishopston. Bishopston.
Oh no, so Bristol's far from Exeter.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, they're quite. They wouldn't play against each other. We played against Gloucester teams and other Bristol teams. We never played. Yeah.
No, there we go.
But no, the Bristol Club League is quite congested.
Players
There's a lot of
playing-
teams in a very small area.
In the Northern Hemisphere, not in Super Rugby, who could apparently.
So it's the wingers that I love. Imhoff and Bosch are just brilliant.
Yeah.
It's not a winger. That's like centre.
Yeah,
He-
and
Played for Biarritz, mate.
The best
Did he?
team.
Yeah.
And they went down.
Marcelo Bosch. Yeah, no, he left a little bit before that, but he
He's at
played.
Sarries now,
He
isn't
saw, he saw the writing on
He
the wall.
almost never played centre there. For us, he played fullback or 10.
He's very good. He kicks.
He's an
long-
excellent 10,
he
actually.
kicks the
He's
long
got a cannon
broad
on his.
boots. Yeah.
Mm.
When Farrell was having trouble against Leicester, they put Bosch on, and Bosch still missed.
Mm.
But
He
they
could-
brought him on to do a couple of kicks.
Yeah,
He-
he
no,
can
he-
do 50, 60 metres.
He's actually a really good fly half. But Marcelo Bosch was surprising. But at the time, he was a bit skinnier. He didn't look like the massive guy he looks like now. 'Cause he's
Well,
How do you
all
say
the
he's
Sarries
massive?
boys.
He's
all the Sarries
pretty
boys.
massive, but he's got to play
They
with
kind of-
Brad
they
Barrett.
move-
So
yeah,
like
Brad-
you
they're
don't
like
you
the
want
exact
to
same
you don't want to
shape.
wear 13 when number 12 is Brad Barrett and you look like
Yeah,
like a
it's true.
pansy.
Well, no,
I imagine Driscoll got big to the end of his career,
Yeah.
but the
It was-
first 10 years of his career, so I'd say what, from 17, when did he make his breakout, 18, 19?
Something like it was about 2000ish, wasn't it?
He was pretty wiggly and scrawny.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't tiny,
Terrible hair.
and
Who?
that bleached
Sorry.
blonde hair. O'Driscoll.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
He
know,
was
the
not
hard
like he
one
wasn't
person.
like
Oh, yeah.
he wasn't the skinniest kid on the pitch,
No.
but he was close to. And he had the bleached blonde hair
Yeah.
and the gloves. He wore the
And
gloves
he
for a
and he
bit.
couldn't dive for a try.
And he didn't. Did he not? Oh no! He always put it down like.
No, he
yeah,
always went on
Like
his
a little
left
sidey thing
on his left side and then put it to try and not hurt him.
Oh
Not hurt himself on the
He does
ground.
excellent stuff.
So he would slide on the side of his arse until his shoulder
Whereas
reaches
they-
the ground and then he can go on the ball.
throwing shade against
Yeah.
O'Driscoll.
He's I mean no, I was gonna say he still does that, but
It's,
Yeah. It's
he
still a
did
style
that
of
his
scoring.
entire career. There's actually a poster of him when it's literally just his shape. scoring like that, and
Shape.
you know that's
It's
O'Driscoll.
the O'Driscoll shape.
Yeah,
Just like the Jason Robinson used to be that front on. He was so straight.
Yeah.
straight with ball in two hands.
Yeah,
And then,
just
I mean,
skidding.
he'd hit the ground 2 or 3 metres before the line and just
He'd
power
just get
on
going,
through.
yeah.
And then Shane Williams would come along, he'd stand still and then do a dive
jump
upwards
up,
and just
yeah.
land flat.
Well, James Short did that the other day against Bath to celebrate winning.
Did he drop it?
Steno put it through his legs, and Short just jumped straight up in the air and landed on his stomach. And I was just like, "Come on!"
I've
They
done
do-
that once. There was like a little bit of a hole in there.
Bit of a divot.
So yeah, so the ball landed on that and got it was on my chest and it got into my stomach. I was like, it took me 5 minutes to come back,
You like
and it
that?
wasn't
You
even a
roll
big
over and
dive.
people think you've herniated or something. And
It wasn't a big dive. It was like just getting over that line. And I got
then-
really hurt.
Well, the only moment I remember not international, it was a club game, was Cipriani pulled his hamstring really obviously in that forced try.
the
that he
Rebels
scored.
game, yeah.
Yeah, and then he's doing the dance.
yeah, that's
And then immediately afterwards he go down injured. Like, he can't move. He doesn't dance. And then he's just like, "Oh my hammy, I'm gone." Like, you idiot.
No, I don't
Oh
think
my
that's the
God.
same try.
I'm like, yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
between the posts?
Yeah,
Is he
yeah.
done like run like 70 meters?
And he just
and then he
goes
does
down.
like this weird
He does,
whatever.
he had enough energy to do the wiggle.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he's done the wiggle, he's like, "Right, done.
Done.
Take me off."
Take me off. Yeah.
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 Or did you see the one he just scored against Newcastle last
Yeah,
week?
with Wade.
So he was already
what was
hurt.
that with the it's like a secret handshake they've got now. It's the
Oh no, that's not the one.
Oh,
so
okay.
the one that he scored. So
oh no,
he
the one with the chip over the top.
yeah, exactly.
That was a great try.
So he was already hurt, and then he saw that, just went for the kick, and went like, "Fuck, I've got to chase that one.
Yeah,
I don't
that-
care if I'm hurt."
that was
He went full pace, put
properly
it down, and then
yeah.
just before he puts it down, you can see he's hurt already.
Oh, really?
No one behind the line, very opportunistic, and it came off a complete fuck up from I think both sides, didn't it?
Yeah. So I think Newcastle fucked it first. No, Wasp fucked it first.
They didn't
Then-
knock it on, but somehow they lost possession.
Then they lost possession. One of the guys tried to pass it outside, and it just got like accidental knock on
Yeah.
on the tackler. Went straight to Cipriani, and we're like, "Well, yeah, just gonna have a chip
go.
over about 25 people
yeah.
and
Well, that was.
score a try between the
It's-
Was
posts."
that the same game where Wade ran into 3 people and then ended up coming out the other side?
I don't know. I didn't watch the whole game.
Like his strength in that there was a collision. Pretty sure he ran into someone and then he got free. And anyone other than Wade would have been tackled by the fullback, but Wade just like, "Fuck it, I'm going around him."
He's scored a couple of good tries recently as well.
The only time I saw Wade in real life, he was going to a festival in Finsbury Park.
Oh, that's a beautiful chip. No,
Yeah.
we saw Wade at the Sevens.
Oh yeah, that's true
So Wade
actually.
at the
Yeah, we did.
I imagine he must clean up quite well at the Sevens, doesn't he? Or
He was good. He was playing with Daly.
He was
Oh,
playing
really?
with Daly.
Yeah, the
that'd
Wasp
be
the
good
Wasp
fun to
team that
watch.
was on was
They had a
fucking
full-
and Dawson, Matt Dawson was no Matt not Matt
Not Matt
Dawson.
Dawson.
No, not Dawson.
It was
Robson.
Robson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dan Robson.
Yeah, Dan Robson.
No,
Yeah,
they
he
had
was
all- they had
absolutely
both-
amazing.
They had both 9s. They had Simpson,
Well, Simpson as well.
Robson,
That's
Daly,
a-
and Wade.
I know Sevens
Oh, and they had
teams.
Simpson. Yeah.
I know Sevens teams are quick, but that sounds fucking rapid.
They were all.
They were-
the Exeter team were all academy boys, as far as I can
Mm.
tell.
And so
I
was
didn't
this
recognise them.
Prem Sevens?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the Prem 7 final. So they made it to the final, and then they
Oh, wow.
lost to basically children
really?
from Newport Dragons,
Oh dear.
and
Yeah.
they were really good.
They were a good
Newport
team.
Dragons.
Yeah, they
Isn't
were
their
awesome.
regular team a bit shit?
Yeah, they're shit.
Getting in the slagging early there.
Getting the Welsh.
Yeah. Got to get at least one in, or they
Go
won't
and
know
give
it's
us a
me.
Welsh impression, though.
Scarlets won
Not
yesterday,
a
didn't they?
chance. I think so.
Scarlets won, and everyone's moaning because of
Yeah,
some sort of.
there's
call.
another decision that I probably won't agree with when I see it.
Well, I
The
watched-
worst one
yeah.
was the one Poit gave away. Was it last weekend, where the two players properly competed for the ball, and then
one
because
went
the
down?
guy that didn't catch the ball, their position
Is that the
was-
Doolan yellow?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
complete horseshit.
Everyone's
Was
been
it?
I know.
talking about it.
I will carry on going. I mean, I get so wound up about it. It's bonkers.
So on the new laws,
I
we've
think
got to
does
give it.
depend on
We've
the
got to
ref.
give it a month
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
everyone's talking for just. It's been 2 weekends. One with, so just before Christmas, there was one weekend with tons of yellow and reds, and
Yeah.
like a good 3/4 of them were like well refed.
Yeah.
And so it was just a bit of a coincidence, or they just went like, "Oh, it's Christmas, let's get yellow cards." Festive,
Yeah.
especially in the
But
top
it's-
14.
There was
It's it's the French way of having fun,
the
punching people.
the Falcons Bath game though was refed phenomenally. I don't know if you saw Greg Garvey. Was it not Garvey?
It was yesterday.
That's
Greg
how-
Garner.
Yeah. That's, I
Yesterday,
didn't
last
watch
night.
it. I've missed a lot of the Premiership recently.
It was very well reffed. I managed to get, well, obviously I was travelling, but I managed to get home to watch that on BT. But it was good.
Okay.
Oh, and also I saw. I'm here because I'm not playing today.
Yeah.
But I saw somebody posted that the new rules apply to everyone. So kind of need to check them out before I play next week.
Yeah, no, I had an email from my club telling me that we're going to have a sit down chat about it all because you need to get it right and you can't.
To be fair, it's not that complex. Don't hit people in the head.
But no, you've got to tell the front five that. To do
So,
something.
I mean, as a 10, you've got to be careful about the bombs and the catching.
Well, I can't. If I put them in a position where my players are actively going to compete.
Do you not compete for your own ball?
I'm not bigger. No, I do actually because I used to play 15 quite a bit, so I do. I'm actually decent in the air, but I usually kick it to the wing.
Fair enough.
Because our wingers are actually better. Usually at a lower level, if you've got a good winger who's not like a light little person who we just stick there because you run out of players, you use them. Because most of the time at low level rugby, the wingers are like
shit.
They're either really quick or they just don't tackle and
they put it out there because they're hoping the ball's not going to get there.
Yeah, they hope no one gets to that point. So both people competed for the ball. Bit of a smack. Was that halfpenny?
Yeah.
All right. So because he lost the ball, he got a yellow card.
Yeah. But they're both competing. They're both at the same height, and they're
so
both going for
so
it.
both get yellows.
And no,
I think
but no,
both
that's the
get
thing.
yellows.
Everyone gets a yellow.
Halfpenny caught the ball, and so it's
No, I understand. I understand that.
Automatic yellows for the captains as well.
The bullshit in that for allowing them to jump. They should have warned them.
Yeah, it happened to Parisi a couple of years ago where he there was like a chip or something.
Yeah.
He went up for the ball and the opposition fullback went. I think it was Duna.
This
actually.
was for Italy, wasn't it?
No,
really?
club. Yeah.
I'm sure.
He was playing in that all pink with the Eiffel Tower in the shape of a dick on it.
Brilliant, love it.
Classic.
Classic. Stade Français,
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. So he jumps up, but obviously Dulin is about 40 kgs lighter than him, and the fullback, so he jumps higher.
Yeah.
But they both jump with the right timing, or ish.
Yeah.
And they both go for the ball. Then they know the other one's there, but they're going for the ball. They barely clash, and Dulin lands awkwardly.
Yeah.
And
With the ball.
Yeah. And he got a yellow for that, and you were like, they both competed completely fairly. There was nothing about it.
Yeah.
And then stupidly, the Dulin was on the ground, possibly hurt, and Parisi literally grabbed onto his shirt and moved him, going like, "Oh yeah, stop doing that." And you go like, "That actually deserves a card."
Yeah, for moving him.
Because you're an absolute dick. What he did before was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Actually, there was a back row holding onto Parisi's shirt as well, which meant that's also one of the reasons why he didn't jump just as high. So yellow card for that guy and yellow card for Parisi for being a dick after,
I've seen
not
people
during.
making kind of the whole reductio ad absurdum, I think is the phrase, that just saying that you're going to get to a point where you have to completely flat out ban jumping for high balls or whatever, which is obviously bollocks. But I kind of get where they're coming from in the sense that with how little it now takes to get carded in that respect, it just seems a bit. I think
the interesting thing for me, so I don't watch the Aussie Football League, but their whole game isn't the whole game.
Yeah.
You kick it miles in the air and then you jump for it.
Speckies.
That's their game. So
that's where you jump on top of people to get them.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, what's their setup? Because surely, if that's the whole game,
they don't even have cards. I think I read recently. I saw a video recently. Some guy came to catch the ball. Guy running across from the other team, basically when he lands, smacks him in the face with an elbow. Fight ensues, but I don't think anything actually happened. He might have gotten suspended for a game or two, but I don't think they actually have cards to put people out of play during the game.
No, there must be some. There can't just be a brawl and no one goes off. Maybe there's forced subs. Or
Maybe
something.
I'm talking
we don't
total
know. We don't know enough about AFL. But my point being is that that's the game. You kick it up in the air and everyone competes. So they'll never remove it from rugby, but you might tactically not kick it in competitive situations. I think that's going to be the end result, because you don't want those collisions to happen. And if you lose the ball, apparently you get a yellow.
But on going by the new rules or the new laws, you remember in Soldier Field that ridiculous catch Zebo made, against, I think, Murray's box kick.
Yeah.
Zebo shot up half the pitch and then jumped like a salmon. But the other guy didn't compete, but because of how Zebo jumped, I think his foot clipped him on the way across and he ends up rolling and doing that. Would the Kiwi there get a card by the rules of the laws now? Or
No.
what would...
So the thing is,
he's not
there's
jumping into a tackle, he's jumping to
the
catch
fact
the
that
ball,
we're
but
calling them laws makes people think that there's no common sense involved. It has to be letter of
Yeah, I know
letter of
there's
the law all the
interpretations
time.
of the
Yeah,
laws, but sometimes it does feel
it's
like...
getting a bit ridiculous. Like you're saying, a lot of people are talking about banning the jump, but
which is absurd.
But then if you go into that much detail, if you realise, then you're not allowed to run either, because when you run, the whole definition of running is that at some point both of your feet are in the air.
Yeah.
So then you're not allowed to run.
Because if say you know mid stride, someone dives at you, takes you through the middle.
Tackle in the air. It's like no, there's common sense involved in there. If you jumped, or
I mean there is.
So for me, there will always be a ref discretion involved in. There always has been in rugby forever, and refs get called out on their bad decisions and their good decisions equally. And we're 2 games in, or 2 game weeks in to these new rules. Yeah, it's nowhere near enough time for us to have any idea about long term what's going to change. Yeah. We don't have a clue. The main thing I'm seeing is that refs are going to get better or worse at it. I'm not sure which way it'll go, but they will get better or worse. And they'll adapt on it there. So if we get 1 million yellow cards a game, either the players will change, or they'll give a new direction to the refs to say, look, some of these are right, some of these are wrong.
Is it still trial phase, or has it just been bought
It's put in.
I think it's just in. But like all laws, they all will adapted. And if it does get to the point where we're having 5 yellow cards a game for innocuous things, they'll tell the refs, look, you're interpreting it slightly wrong. The directives are no head injuries. Or they'll go to the players and look, this isn't right, too many yellows, avoid the head. So either way, something will come out.
And we always get the argument of, the red card ruins the game. It's like, yeah, it does.
No,
Don't put yourself in that. Don't put yourself in that position.
Yeah,
it's that simple. Yeah, it does. You know, sometimes it's big mistakes and it does ruin the game. But and you also get games that get a lot better.
Yeah,
because of that.
It's just to segue into England. The game against Argentina in the autumn, if we'd played on with 15 men, it probably would have been a lot higher scoring on our end and perhaps a lot less interesting to watch. But because we only conceded the 2 tries we conceded after Daly had been red carded and after, I want to say, Marler had got his yellow card. And so we were down to 13 men and that's when we conceded. And so when we were back,
it would have been impressive for them to score before Daly got carded.
Well,
that was only
4
third
minutes,
minute.
But still, But the point, even going on from that, there was still the 75 odd minutes, 65 odd minutes, where we were at 14 men.
But the number of people. So the thing that would interest me is the number of people that, if England had lost that game, would have come out and gone, the red card ruined the game.
Probably everyone.
There would have been so many people if England had lost that game. So for me, this was interesting because we were talking about Cheika last week.
Yeah.
And how if they hadn't beaten Scotland, he wouldn't have got Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Right? For me, that's an outcome-based thing. He's still as good a coach if they hadn't beat Scotland because that was such a 50-50 call at the time. So he doesn't win Coach of the Year because of a 50-50 call by a ref in the same way that people would complain about the red card to Daly if England had lost that game. Yeah. So there's so many tiny little variables in which people get plaudits or people don't get plaudits depending on really small events, and it gets blown up.
In the same way that you win or lose a game on a small decision all the time.
Yeah.
So, do you know the comedian called Andy Zaltzman?
No,
I don't.
He's weird ginger guy, really funny. He works with, or used to work with John Oliver.
Kind of hope
he's amazing, and he's a big fan of rugby. And at one point, he said, in like short fake news, rugby fans are disgusted by the Lions store in Australia because it was won by rugby instead of marginal decisions. Him?
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
There's that guy. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. He's a funny looking dude, to be fair. He's got everything running for him in terms of funny looking.
He looks like he was on Whose Line Is It Anyway, but
he looks like
probably. He did a podcast for years with John Oliver. It's brilliant.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like John Oliver.
Bugle.
Oh, okay. I've been meaning to look into that thing.
Yeah, there's 4 years worth of listening. It's brilliant.
4 years of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
John Oliver did a few. This is completely
Got an 8 hour
tangential.
trip,
He did a few episodes of Mock the Week, and he was all right. but I quite like it. I really quite like Last Week Tonight.
Yeah,
I'm not.
He stopped the Bugle just because he was too busy with
HBO,
his new work.
All right, but he's a rugby fan as well. Probably
John Oliver? No, not at all.
John
John Oliver's
massive.
a football fan.
John Saltzman's obsessed with cricket.
Oh, really?
Oh, he's a
Cricket
Quins
fan.
fan as well.
Oh, good for him.
Of course he is. Cricket and Quins and rugby.
I'm not bothered by cricket, so.
Really? Not? You're a Quins fan, not bothered by cricket?
No, it's dull as fuck.
Ooh.
I can appreciate, the UK. There was
Thank
You watch the Ashes, eh?
no.
We do not.
See,
that's the main cricket I'll watch. Like if 2020's on,
I thought,
maybe.
I think I caught
That's a
some.
month out of your life.
T20 or whatever. There was something on with the Caribbean islands or whoever playing, and I just remember seeing the game get twatted all the way out the stadium, and one of them being, into the stands or through a window, and seeing that I think is impressive. I think is cool to watch. The game itself, it doesn't interest me too much. Seeing like the occasional video of someone doing a great catch. Just one of the silly men diving for the. Love seeing that.
Yeah.
But I'm the same way with a lot of others. Don't particularly like football, but I can appreciate a good save or a good goal.
Just the clips, yeah.
Tennis.
Same thing.
Can't be asked for that, but a good volley or a great ace. And
See, for me, cricket's a long. I mean, we're off the topic of rugby.
Well,
but it's tactical.
Not
to
really.
me, it's such a long game.
Yeah.
That again, you can still win by marginal decisions.
Yeah.
As with all sports.
But
I think tennis is probably the least marginal of them all.
Because
Well,
Maybe.
yes and no. So the
was-
really interesting about tennis is that it's winning the right points. So if you look at a final, like that's been won in 3 sets, or let's say 3 sets to 1 and 3 sets to 2.
Mm.
If you look at them, so they give you the stats of the total points won,
Yeah.
and usually it's like 3 points difference.
Yeah. Because if
it's like
you're
1,000 points
That's
each.
right, yeah,
Say-
It's really interesting. It's winning the right ones that make you win the game.
Because
And
if you
that's
win, say,
why
a
it's so
set
mental.
by 7-1, but
brilliant.
you lose a set 6-7,
Yeah, it's true.
then you both won one set, but someone's put in a lot more work to
Yeah,
get the one win.
and that's where you get guys like Nick Kyrgios who just throw
pure
away the
tactical,
set whenever he knows he's gonna miss it, which is completely against the
So
ethos of the game, and
I'm a
people just get really pissed at him.
I'm a big believer in rugby scoring at the right time. So I think New Zealand do it the best. And New Zealand, everyone's always going on about how their late game is brilliant.
Yeah.
They play at a
But
similar
the whole
intensity
game is
the whole
brilliant,
game.
in fairness.
And it
But
breaks
only-
them slowly.
It's also
Yeah.
their late game is brilliant because it's all relative. It's because no other teams or barely any other teams can stay with them for the full 80. So by the time the 60, 70 minutes is coming along, the other team is falling off, but they're still going at the same intensity, and so they can exploit. But they're still going
I
with.
completely agree. Yeah.
So it's. I'm sure there was a.
But as a fan, and I mean, Fred and I play a reasonable amount.
Robin, why don't
You feel but you feel and you'll see it as a fan. You feel the rhythm when you're on the pitch.
Yeah.
You get the ebb and the flow of the game.
Sure.
And when
There's no rhythm in the backs.
and when well, my point is that if you concede a try,
It's all poetry in the forwards, is what it is.
yeah, if you concede a try though, you can feel whether your team's up for it and going to score again,
Yeah.
and that whether that try really mattered.
Mm.
You can feel in the team whether you're making the yards or whether you're not. So scoring that try is sometimes not actually a good thing for the other team. They'd have been better off just holding off and just winning by a couple of points. They scored that extra try and suddenly the whole momentum shift changes
And
the other
I
team
can
come
bring
back.
up an example of this. Just you could see it happening even before any of the players did, even before Bowden Barrett did. But when France played New Zealand in November, the intercept that France had been knocking on New Zealand's line for about 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah,
And then the ball went left, and Bowden Barrett was just in front of it and had
and went.
an entire pitch to get through. And that kind of thing what that does to the rhythm, I suspect, is fuck it all up for one team.
And then that
kind of-
try will matter, and then the French will
I
be
wanted,
Because
I wanted
that-
to take
that-
a Eurostar and find Bowden Barrett and beat him up.
That try was basically what won them the game, because they if that hadn't happened, they were genuinely in with a shot. But once it had happened, you kind of thought. But they got close, but they
Because
did look at what
mentally
they might
it's
score
so
again.
tough.
But
Yeah.
if you're putting in all that effort,
Yeah.
and then suddenly you're all at like this end of the pitch, and then the ball just does that in 20 seconds. It's
Now, just to make a reference, Ed was signalling at the top end near the Muffins.
I've got my cooling thing here.
And he was pushing towards the cookies at the other
And
end.
so we've got one try line here, one try line here.
Muffins and cookies, yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's-
not. If you're calling it here, it's not
The
helping.
cookies are the French, and then this is basically New Zealand.
That's spoken
See,
about.
And
see,
then-
there
so
are
here are
1,
the
2,
French
3, 4,
players.
5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 New
This-
Zealand
this
players.
is how
There's
it's
3
set-
Frenchmen.
That's how games generally play out. And so, the ball goes...
The others are smoking on the
bounty
sidelines.
wrapper goes wide, yeah. And then before it's even left here, Barrett's just taking it all the way down and scoring under the post.
Yeah.
Can we all agree that bounty is disgusting?
No.
No, I'm not in for bounty.
Bounties are great.
I
No.
don't know why they bother putting coconut
There's
in
a reason why
chocolate.
there's 8 bounties left at the bottom of the box of
I gladly
celebrations.
finish. I never get this. I see complaints about things like don't like bounties, don't like the toffee pennies in roses or whatever. When in actuality, it's really the strawberry and the orange creams that are fucking disgusting.
You don't like an orange or a strawberry
I
cream?
used to, but I've gone off them hugely in the last
I'm
bit.
not sure he's right.
Let's not get too technical though.
Bang on about strawberry cream. So who was the strawberry cream in terms of rugby player then for you?
Ooh. Morgan Parra.
Para. Oh, is it?
What a
Oh, he's
dick.
too sweet.
No, he's just.
Has he got the
shit.
little frilly bits on his top as well?
Oh, did you see that the French top 14 bloopers video?
No.
In at the end, it gives you like the best referee moments, and one of them is the referee telling Morgan Parrott that if he hadn't put his arms up to argue, he wouldn't have knocked it on, and it's and it's actually true. You see that like on the replay. Is that there's something happening in front of him, and he just puts his hand up towards the referee, and the ball pops out,
It hits him.
hits his hand, and he knocks it on.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Classic Morgan
It
Parra.
was so funny. It's like so classic 9.
And I get really wound up by players appealing, and I know everybody does, but there's
But
ones
some are
where
worse than others.
so I think I saw Barrett appeal
Dan
because he
Bigger.
got tackled. Yeah, Bigger does it, and everyone moans to hell in the
Welshman.
threads about him. But Barrett got tackled high.
Hmm.
I think it was the Exeter game. No, it wasn't Exeter game because that's today. So who was he playing last week? Don't know.
Wait,
Sorry,
which player,
they've been pretty shit for 2 weeks. Well, not shit.
Just
That's
average.
the fact that they win anyway means shows you
That's
how
the
good
sign
they
of
are.
a good
But
team, yeah. But he appealed mid tackle. and everybody's like, oh, why is he appealing? Why isn't he playing the game? Well, he's been tackled high, and it happened so slowly. He had time to appeal to the ref.
Right, fair enough.
It's a high tackle. Just give it and play on. But everyone, I mean, Bigger's the worst. Bigger loves an appeal to the ref, and I really like Bigger as a 10. But there's that element of his game.
He's properly talented. It just
Oh.
I think it was maybe the Argentina game where he was basically when Argentina scored the try, he was basically complaining before he'd even crossed the line.
Yeah. Oh no, he was. Oh, because I think someone ran in front of him, or someone had tinily nudged him, but he was miles
I mean,
away.
bad
you
because-
won't meet a player at this level who's not a dirty fucker on the pitch
But no, it's not that. I just
in that
In the
sense. So
Australia game-
in every way.
he got yellow carded
Trying to think
for
of-
tackling a player too early, and then he tried to tackle a player early again, but it didn't work, and so he started complaining to the ref. It was bizarre.
I'm trying to think of the cleanest player.
Wilco.
I'm in the not like cleanest, just won't do any before the red card for Daly. I would have put him up there,
Yeah.
and I still think he obviously didn't mean it, blah. But I think Joseph's up there as well. I don't think he does
Joseph's
the niggly.
class.
I don't think
Yeah.
he does any of the niggly stuff. He's way too posh. You hear him talk. He is the poshest man I've ever met, and I met some posh people.
Yeah.
But Jesus, that guy is like levels above everybody
But
in
like-
terms of the accent.
But
Rob Shaw.
just look at no, but even then, like
'cause Rob Shaw
there's
does
an element
niggle.
that you don't necessarily see. Like look at
Yes, he'd put his shoulder in when someone's trying to come back
Yeah.
of a line out, and he'll try and create a gap
of
here
course
and there.
of course they will.
It's his
Like
job.
Dane Coles and Michael Hooper. So you wouldn't call them really clean players, but you don't call them
I call Michael Hooper a wanker though.
gritty play. That like
He's a proper grub. He's a very talented
Everybody
player.
hated him because he threw the sand, right?
No, no,
on the turf.
I-
But it never went anywhere near
Which
anyone
never
else.
happened,
I think
yeah.
about like in the rugby championship, was it?
the audio
the
just
Argentinian
exploded.
like pulling on his jersey, and he just turns around and
smacks him in the face. Yeah.
And whether it's closed fist or open palm,
Doesn't
he
matter
got
that
away
much,
with
yeah.
murder. And then the game he missed was a midweek piece of
Oh, that
shit
was
game for the
that
lowest
was
club
that
level
was
in Oz.
utter shite.
It was a
absolute
county
bullshit.
game, wasn't it? Yeah. No, but that's way of Australia because we don't even that doesn't exist in the UK. That level of county level below Oz club level.
No,
That's
it
So
does.
it'd
It
be
does
like
in
Rob Shaw playing
in Ireland.
for Surrey or something.
It does in Ireland. Like
Yeah.
technically, the guys who play for Leinster are in a local club. So and in New Zealand as well. So, Dan
weird.
Carter has a local club called something Bridge or I think like that. Like they play in white and blue. And when he came back from injury, in
his local French club.
yeah, Racing is no one's local club.
Where is Racing based?
Just west of Paris.
No.
It's not far from the centre. So the new stadium is going to be at the Défense, which is like the equivalent of the Canary Wharf.
Okay.
Fancy.
Which is a really nice place. Well, no, the place isn't nice, but it's probably a good idea to have a stadium there.
Nice enough.
Yeah. It's not as nice as Canary Wharf, but that would be really out of place if there was a stadium.
Talking about stadiums, so I'm going to go back to mentalities and stadiums actually. So West Ham moved stadium to the Olympic Park, right?
I heard that.
Are they in the Avivo Championship?
Yeah, the Championship football.
Yeah.
But no, they've lost a bucket load of games, right? Wasps, on the other hand, completely shift
Coventry
all the way up to Coventry,
reinvigorate.
and they're playing out their skin.
Have they lost 1 game or 2 this season?
I don't know. You'd know as a Wasp fan.
2, I think.
They've won 8 out of 10. So yes, they won
Brian
2.
O'Driscoll's app.
They've won 2 because they won 8 out of 10 because they won one more game than Exeter and Exeter won 7.
If you hear me, Brian, you give us a bit of money and we'll sell the name of the app.
We will not say otherwise at all, despite having said it earlier. But no, my point is that everyone's bagging on West Ham. Like they moved stadium, and all the fans. Like, there's no passion. They're playing really badly. Blah. Ed's never met any of these people that talk about football. But then but like you said, Wasps. What? But Wasps have moved, and now they're winning. And I just think that people put a lot of stead in home games versus away games, and it's easier not to travel, and it's easier to play in front of your own team. But you shouldn't lose away games that often.
Yeah.
And in a big circle.
Wait, what?
In a big circle, I'm about to bring it back to Quins.
Yeah.
Who haven't won an away game yet.
No, but we haven't lost a home game yet either.
I've not won a single away game though.
Yeah. For the record, I think Wasp have lost 2 games in the Prem. Yeah. So that's Surrey's and Gloucester.
All right.
Gloucester have only lost 2.
Oh no, Gloucester beat
Wasp. Sorry,
which is
completely misheard.
Which was
Gloucester have lost
which was
6,
really impressive.
Yeah, that makes
and they've
sense.
got losing bonus points in every single one.
Really?
Yeah.
What a bunch of bastards.
Well, they're doing well for losing
we
bonus
haven't
points.
done that.
They're good at losing bonus points because they've got about 30 points. They're about 30 points ahead at half time.
Oh, that's a good point.
Do you know,
those games
it's a bit... So, because the Premiership is so reliant on bonus points, and Quins are losing, they're not only losing away games,
but we're not getting the bonus.
They're losing with 8 points difference.
Yeah, exactly. You're losing it by 8+ points every single time, and it's getting to the point where it's a big downward trend.
Did we even win the bonus point in Big Game 9? Or did we score 3 or 4?
No bonus points.
Yeah, just scored
because
3.
I had an interview with one of them saying, it was big 4 points for us.
Yeah.
There you go.
We're not taking the bonus points when we win, and we're not taking them when we lose. So
Quins to me, you win at home, and I'm going to the home game, so it should be brilliant. But
just to bring this back to another thing we mentioned last week, in that we went from coming up from the Championship, and then in 6 years we won the Premiership. That was 4 years ago, and we're at a stage where we're just not winning away games.
That was 2012, or was it 2010?
2012.
2012, yeah.
Came up in 06 or 07.
Yeah.
Won in 2012, and now we're just... I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think there is a genuine chance that over the next season or 2 we might be fighting for relegation, because it's... I can't for the life of me work out what exactly has gone wrong, because it was going wrong before Conor O'Shea left. So
I think you're going to be fighting this year a little bit. You're not going to be too close to relegation, but you are going to be fighting a little bit towards this in this second half of the season.
Why is even if we do continue to just win home and lose away, we're probably still going to be above Bristol and Worcester.
Are you still unbeaten at home?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think they're unbeaten at home. Yeah, you just haven't won a single away game. You've got 28 points.
Win later on.
You lot are doing okay in terms of points. Looking at it, you're a good 10 points ahead of Worcester.
Context-wise, it
is really depressing watching the league as Newcastle keep winning. I think Newcastle are in the position Quinn should be in. Newcastle were 6th.
Newcastle won by 2 points against Bath. I thought they won by more.
No, it was a very close game. That last try and the conversion won them the game from...
Oh, really?
I don't know how far out wide he was, about halfway between the sticks and the touchline, but it was a good conversion. And he's having a phenomenal game. Hodgson, I don't know if he's English. He won't play. I don't think he'll ever play for England or his national team, but he is a very good player.
Close in that we're 8th at the moment. above Gloucester, Sale, Worcester and Bristol. We have the same number of points, 28, as Northampton, one less than Newcastle, and then it starts jumping up into the 30s. And Wasps on 47, one more than Sarries 46. Chiefs in third, 39.
Yeah. Just quickly talk about, pull up the Pro 12, because I think Munster are still at the top. But I'm just going to talk. I'm loving the fact that it's a Bristol, Worcester, Sale, and it's a shootout for who can win or go down relegation-wise. It's not like, who's going to lose every single week and maybe win 1 or 2 games. They're winning more games than that. There's kind of Worcester and
do Munster not have a game this weekend? I'm confused by that.
Well, it was Ulster Scarlets last night.
Yeah, Leinster Zebra. Is this still a holdover from the funny schedule from over Christmas and New Year?
Have Munster not got a game?
Possibly. Munster don't have a game this weekend. I'm kind of confused by that. But let's look at the table anyway, because that's...
Let's have a little look.
So,
beat Ulster.
How likely is it that you're going to get called to play 10 for Worcester?
Oh my god. Well, I mean, we're playing fancy. And Ed's
I've not changed my team since mid-October.
Have you not?
I don't even know what my score is.
Okay.
It's like I missed 3 weeks in a row, and I was like, I cannot be asked to go back.
So, but
I'm probably winning.
I brought in Ryan Lamb ages ago, and Worcester have cycled through so many 10s. There's just no consistency. You can't pick a Worcester 10 now and go, he'll play week in, week out.
Yeah.
And if you haven't got consistency at 10, how can you have a game plan? Because the game plan revolves around
Inside
a consistent 9 and 10. Yeah, they'll go Michalak of the. It is diabolical, and Worcester they're really suffering because of it. And Ben Teo obviously had that big interview where he came out and said that the team hasn't got enough class players to compete at any level.
Are we sure he's one of the class players they do have?
He was claiming that he was. Apparently, he's playing really well.
Yeah, he's really good.
Fair enough.
So, and then Perry Humphreys had a massive breakout and he was playing really well.
I think it's the fact that he was a bit pissed. The fact that he was brought in Worcester setup by people there who told him, "We're bringing you in, and you're not the only person we're bringing in." And then they didn't do it, and so they said they didn't bring him saying, "Okay, we want you because we want to be safe from relegation." They said, "We want you because we want to be in the top 6." In the top 4 within 2 years.
I've forgotten his name. Who was their coach that got sacked?
I don't know.
Anyway, he was the up and coming. He was the up and comer.
Yeah.
How I've forgotten his name, I don't know. But he brought Worcester up in a similar way that Baxter did, and they were all talking about how they were going to slowly grind up and blah.
Wow.
And he got brought up, and he's disappeared off now. And Teo said that he's not bothered about the coach going. He's more bothered about they don't have the ambition, like you said. They don't have the ambition to bring in more players. Yeah, what's up?
Munster and Leinster are both on 46 points.
And at one point, I'm sure everyone tells that to their players. Like, I'm sure, what's the name of the Kiwi fullback that just came to Bristol, who's been absolutely amazing since he arrived?
Woodward,
yeah. Woodward.
He's playing in centres,
when he's brought to Bristol and on the talks, obviously there's the money on the contract, but they don't go like, please come to our club because
we're fighting relegation.
We're fighting relegation. They go like, this is our situation, but this is where we want to be next year.
Yeah.
They don't. Otherwise, they don't get that many people. I doubt they're going to call him and say, "Oh yeah, we're basically the rebels." But we and we're actually but we can go down.
Yeah, I suppose
unlike the rebels, we can actually go down back to the championship.
It might work with players. You never know. I imagine it might have the same success rate as going to a job interview and saying that why do you want this job? Well, because
it's
I've
a
got
challenge.
No money and I need work. I can't imagine that goes over when you have to say, well, it's a great company and so you've got to try and sell it. So I suppose.
So I don't know why I don't know this. There's no January transfer window for rugby.
There is.
Is there?
Yeah.
Yeah, because loads of players.
They're moving around now, are they?
Because lots of the Southern Hemisphere players.
Yeah.
So should we talk about Johan Goosen then?
You want to talk about
what
Goosen?
is going on with that? I have the vaguest of understanding about what's going on, but it just looks
right. So
like a
here's what I got from it. So he wanted out of Racing,
right?
Because it's a shithole.
Yeah.
Apparently. In terms of like the general atmosphere in the club, which doesn't seem to exist, or maybe it does for some people because some people seem to be pretty happy there.
Does he not speak French?
So probably not.
I don't think so.
And they've got this weird thing about not being allowed to live in Paris.
What?
Despite having
it
a Canary Wharf-esque style.
Yeah,
in Paris.
so it was it was a thing with when Jamie Roberts was there. He was like, he had to, because he was such a big signee.
Yeah.
He managed to be the one guy that convinces the club owner that he can live in Paris because he's single.
Really?
And when you're Jamie Roberts, like
Goosen's
you're
Jamie
not going to
Roberts.
live outside of Paris when there's no women. When you've got
He's
Jamie
single.
Roberts'
I thought I knew
face.
the girl he was dating. Anyway, go on.
Well, that was
Oh yeah, it was a couple
ago.
of years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's probably a few.
Oh no, no doubt. I'm not.
All the nurses in Paris.
I think it is a. Yeah, anyway, don't worry.
Yeah, so apparently he wants out of Racing. So what he did is, instead of to get out of his contract
So he's going to retire.
and
I
to
think,
possibly get some. Also, when you retire in France from being a professional player, you get I heard something like you get half of your pay for the next 2 years each year or something like that. So he wants out and can possibly even get money out of it. So he got basically a fake job in South Africa at 24, being a director of something for almost no money.
Yeah.
Which is just officially retiring, so that a very short while later he can sign for another club.
He'll do the Andy Good.
And
So-
so he's gotten, aren't they like?
No, Andy Good did
legal?
it to avoid pre-season. That's very different.
He just wanted more pies and more beer.
I mean, that's
But-
not 100% inaccurate. But then he went. It was Newcastle, wasn't he? He went up there and did the
He
business.
did quite well for them, didn't he?
He did
really
did a
well.
role.
He did over
filled
his
that
previous
role.
team.
I mean, that's why Joel Hodgson's doing well now, because they were still up. They'd have gone down probably if
But
Good hadn't.
Goosen is what was I going
No,
to
not
say?
down. That was Welsh, but yeah.
See, I can understand a 24-year-old making a terrible decision,
Yeah.
but how horrible must the people around him
But
be?
that's
Yeah.
the thing.
He must have really wanted to
the
get
Because
out.
his
director
career
or
is
owner of
fucked.
Racing
It's gone.
trying to sue him or trying to.
Yeah, they are because
Go
because he's trying to he tried to fuck them.
Well, yeah, I mean,
because
in fairness, they
get
put
out of
them-
his contract,
Yeah.
not fulfill the whatever is in his contract.
Get an extra year's pay over
Get
2 years.
get some pay from them
Yeah.
to end up, because he's got to wait. I think it's 18 months to go back to a French club.
Yeah.
And so the rumours are, and they seem to be true, is that Altrad, the owner of
Be a too long,
Montpellier,
no,
wants
right,
him.
Montpellier.
And so to get him in Montpellier, he has to wait a while.
Yeah.
And so he wanted him to go to Gloucester because he's going to buy a part of Gloucester.
Jesus
Oh, I heard that.
Christ.
Yeah.
So it's really shit.
But like you said, he's been tarnished one way or another.
Oh yeah, his career is really fucked. He's going to have to go back to South Africa. He is
they'll be
not
desperate
going
for
to
him.
play in the top 14.
But
It's not gonna
they'll be
happen.
desperate for him in South Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
'cause
can
he's
turn
brilliant.
up for the ITM Cup or for Super Rugby maybe.
He can go to the Southern Hemisphere. He could eventually possibly play in England, but he's not going to play in the top 14 anymore. It was funny. Bujala came out and were like, "Whoever signs him is a dickhead,"
Oh yeah, I saw
and
that.
he wasn't
yeah.
involved in that. He was just like,
He was
"This
a
is."
sideshow, yeah.
He just went like, "This is bullshit."
Well, because
I hope
Bujala
no one
loves.
signs him.
He loves.
He loves being in the media.
But
yeah.
he loves in the media, and he loves contract manipulation. That's part of him, because he did the whole
Does he?
bonuses thing. Well, he loved the bonus thing. That wasn't part of their salary. But then
maybe.
if they won, they got a massive bonus, which is part of his way of paying the players. And
a salary cap by.
it was an idea, and then they brought in something about bonuses only being up to
There is a
certain
salary
percentage.
cap in France, but I don't think any of the clubs have enough money to get there.
I thought there was a limit.
No, I don't. Yeah, there is
Yeah,
a limit.
there's
I think
There's
this could be completely
no
wrong.
one's
So I'm
reached
sorry
it
if it
yet,
is, but
I
I
know
read
there's massive
something with
bonuses for when
being
Toulon
10 million
win.
euros.
Oh wow.
The cap, and so the richest club is Toulouse with 35 million. I'm sure about that figure. It's 35 million is the entire budget for the whole club.
Right.
So if it would mean that they pay 10 out of 35 million just for salary.
Okay.
So I doubt they
Just for the salary of the
actually-
players.
Yeah.
Because then you've also got to sprinkle it through the
Yeah,
directors
and
coaches
yeah, you've got to pay the wives who have
physios
a a part-time
Right.
job.
Secretary job.
That's
yeah.
that's
They clean
the
the toilets.
that's the Aviva style apparently.
Isn't
It's
that what?
the,
Yeah, isn't that what
They
Sarries
colour
did?
wage
They,
as well, yeah.
Yeah.
they gave everyone a job for shitloads of money that wasn't
Yeah,
actually anything.
I heard something about a player's wife being a parking lot attendant 1 hour a week, for
wore
100
the-
grand.
Fluorescent. She wore the fluorescent coat and just stood there for like an hour and then took it off again. She'd earn 100k.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's not a bad job.
I'm completely inventing the hours and the numbers and.
No, well-
but
I
I heard
can
a story
see
like
something stupid, yeah.
that. Yeah.
But not necessarily like that was it, but just saying, oh, she cleans the toilet, so we'll give her 30k a year or whatever. Something simple like that for people. It will go on the books and they'd walk it away and it'd be easy.
That's what else?
But to be fair, that probably happens in a lot of different. It's not just rugby. I know in the 90s in France there was a lot of cash. Before it went fully professional, people were getting paid. Have been being paid since the late 80s.
Here we go. So we're talking about cash. So I'm going to talk about the championship. Richmond, because obviously London Welsh are in dire straits.
Yeah.
They are no longer bottom of the championship, despite having a massive points deduction. London Welsh have 19 players on their squad now, only.
Fred and I were talking about that earlier on. I thought that I could just... They've only got 90 players. I should go along and audition.
You could have a little run out and say I play for free. But they've gone semi-pro now.
So, 3 of my coaches are London Welsh players.
Are they?
Yeah.
They're right down the road as well.
They're literally, of course they are.
I mean, they're, I think, a mile and a half, 2 miles away.
But they're literally, there's only 19 of them, and they're not going down because they keep winning games. Those 19 boys keep winning games, and
fair enough.
And they're semi-pro now.
There must be bloody good 19 boys then to keep on winning against.
I think they've probably got an ethos now of actually we have to win and we have to play well because otherwise this club is going to disappear.
How do you find it with?
I'll ask them next week. So I'm confused because 2 of them are injured, so I know they're not playing.
Do you suppose it works out that London Welsh, London
and
Scottish, and Richmond all share
I'm
the same
almost
grounds?
100% sure they're still at London Welsh.
So I'm going to have to cycle in some new players.
London Welsh, London Scottish, and Richmond all have what is basically the same grounds. How does that work?
Well, Richmond are also the other semi-pro team, and like you said, they're
it is all Old Deer Park up.
No, Old Deer Park is London Welsh, and Richmond and London Scottish play at Richmond. It's called the Sports Ground.
It's less than round the corner.
I've never been to the. I know where the actual Old Deer Park is. I don't know where the stadium thing is. I know where the Richmond thing is. Because when you go to Richmond Sevens, you actually play in Old Deer Park.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough space.
Yeah.
One of the World Cup fan zones was there. It was excellent.
I played in Richmond once, but I don't think we even played Richmond. I think it was another club.
I played on the first pitch actually.
Did you?
Yeah, it was like a ultra. It was the ultra social sevens.
We're there.
I played 2 minutes.
I've played on the Cornish Pirates and the Stoop. That's my two. I really want to play on an artificial one to see if it's different.
Oh, I played at
they're based
a few weeks ago. I played at what are they called? The ones in Richmond Park,
Roslyn
Park.
Roslyn Park.
Roslyn Park.
That way down.
4G pitch. It's amazing.
It's good.
It's brilliant. I train on 3G and I hate it.
Yeah.
But this was absolutely amazing. The game that was so fast and it didn't hurt. It didn't
scratch and hurt.
Not at all.
Because that's the main issue I have with it.
It was brilliant.
Just that
I was really
potential
impressed with the quality of the pitch. Yeah, it was really fun to play on, and I could well mouldies. So.
Oh yeah. And obviously, as a floating guy who likes to stand in the 10 channel.
Yeah.
As a back row forward.
Yeah, I like to push the 10 out of the way.
So how come you not playing this week?
My back is a bit.
He wanted a podcast with us.
He wanted a pod.
See, Roslyn Park there.
That's just around the corner, is it?
Yeah, so that's Roslyn Park is in that gap there, and
it's
that's
just
Roslyn
literally
Park.
down the road. I'm probably going to drive past it.
No, you'll go. Well, yeah, maybe. And then London Scottish and London Welsh. Well, I can just do that a bit more, slightly further away. There's us, and that's London Welsh are there, London Scottish and Richmond are there.
Right. We're getting a Google
right,
map
so it's the other way then.
Yeah.
So when I played in Old Deer Park, it was on this side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I mean
this is very visual for the listeners, listener.
Singular. Oh, and Fred's mum. Actually, you've topped up. I was hoping that you'd come back because you've topped up your French accent in France. I was hoping you'd come back really strong, but it's still reasonably sweat up.
At this point, it's too late. It's too late.
There we go. Nailed
it's gone.
Nailed it.
Oh.
So how is it? Just you from your family living in England? Yeah. You're on your Todd.
Traitorous dick.
He's left his country.
Yeah. Abandon them.
Yeah, it must be nice seeing them. Anyway,
England.
it must be decent going back. Are they all rugby fans?
Not at all.
None.
No.
No rugby fans.
What
Did you become a rugby fan when you came over here, or were you?
No, I discovered rugby in France, like on the beach.
All right.
That's odd. All the Toulon players playing on their break.
When I was a kid, it was like a
Biarritz
rugby event. The few of the pro players came down. It inspired everyone. It was pretty cool. It was about 8, maybe 10. And then I went on to start playing rugby when I lived in Germany. When I was a teenager. That's where I started playing, and then so I played in Germany and in England, and I've never played a game of rugby in France in my life. No, I might this year.
What's the German league like?
It was terrible. So the best thing is Germany. So I was 12.
Can you speak German?
Very badly.
All right. Harble's reasonably fluent.
Is he? I thought he was
much better than me.
He's reasonably fluent. Yeah.
Over there, I was playing in the youth league, which is basically under 17s that had adult women in it sometimes.
All right, yeah.
And I was 12.
That's like Belgium, yeah.
So I was scrum half or outside centre.
Yeah.
As a 12, 13-year-old trying to get
adults.
away from the big guys.
Holy hell. That must have been terrifying.
Nah, the ball never went past the 10, so...
So you gave it to the 10, then it was a crash, and you just ran to the next ruck?
The games were really weird because it was either you would smash the opposition because they were a proper German team, and ours was like had quite a few French kids from the school.
Right, yeah.
And then we would go and play next to like an English military base, and we would get like rammed 100-0 by English schoolboys.
Yeah, of course. It's an export, I suppose. I don't know. Germany, you don't think of Germany playing much rugby.
No,
but they beat Brazil last.
It's become a lot better, and I only went there because a couple of people. It was a very small French school where I was, and a couple of people there were massive rugby fans. So they set up, or it was already set up for the kids on Saturday morning, but they made it so much bigger. So like 3/4 of the kids there were French.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
But I was too old to play with them, so I was allowed, but it was too easy because I was 12, 13, with most of them being 9 or 10.
Oh, right.
So I was either get killed by the dads,
or play with the young ones.
or play with the young ones. So I went just to do the basic training, but not really the full contact game. And then I went with the youth teams on the Fridays, where they were all 16, 17.
It's always playing numbers, isn't it? Because like you said, there's that gap in the middle is a huge problem.
Yeah.
And around the world, you've got to fill between the ages of 12 and 18. If you don't have 30 kids who want to play rugby on a Sunday morning...
That's the problem the girls are having, even in England.
Yeah.
There's only 2 age groups, under 13s and under 15s and under 18s.
Yeah.
For girls, but there's like 5, maybe 3 teams in London that have an under 15s max.
And the problem is when you're at the top end of that under 15s, you're then done. Because you go on to the next year and then you're playing. You're then 16 playing in an under 18 thing, and there's a buckload of under 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
And you're feeling a bit too young. So the 13-year-olds must feel really bad. Then suddenly they're in their prime because they're playing 15. They're in their real league. So there's an issue.
There's a lack of option, which is why all the girls start playing. There's tons of girls uni rugby. Yeah. That's the age they start playing. So if they could have proper club setups, and some clubs are really trying. You would get like the level would go high, like so much higher pretty quickly.
So this is where the RFU should be, funneling in all their.
They are. I know they're genuinely trying.
The RFU is they have.
I know they're doing a lot for grassroots, and they made an absolute fortune last year off the World Cup.
What RFU will see is 50% of the population as dollar signs or pound signs or whatever, and they'll be like, all of these subs that we could be bringing into all of these clubs that are then paying into the RFU. Let's go. Let's get them all in. So hopefully they'll see it that
and
way.
England captaincy as a weight.
Hopefully, I really hope that the game grows more and more. And obviously we're going to have to deal with.
But so the game is growing massively.
They need to widen the accessibility of the professional game for people watching, because if you go to one of the England games at Twickenham this year, certainly for the Six Nations, you might be treated for the women's games afterwards. But it's generally relegated to one of the lesser channels. It's relegated to one of the lesser stadiums, lesser time spot. And I mean, kind of in the same way that I wish I could watch all of the Six Nations and all of what was the European Nations Cup in the same weekend, which you can't do because they're generally on at the same time. You can just about do this. You can watch all of the Six Nations and the Women's Six Nations, but it's fairly difficult to because of
You have to jump around channels, and you have to jump around on the internet, and
they're not always actually broadcast
at all. Take the bus to the Stooks. That's where it's played.
Well, yeah,
it's easy for but
I mean, for some people, it's
for you.
For, no, put it this way:
Yeah.
for people who live in a place where they don't have access. Put it this way: like the entire north of the country, with the exception of Newcastle and Sale,
very small population.
It's for the rugby union fans up there, the ones that aren't infatuated with the league. They're very, very, very seldom going to come down to Twickenham to see England play, so it's all going to be on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're going to have even less access to the women's game.
That's true, because they barely have access to the men's game.
But to be honest, it's the same in every other country. Like in France, 99% of rugby is in the bottom south half of the rugby of the country. Yet the Stade de France is in the north half, and it's not a problem.
But the French national team's never been the pride and joy. I mean, you like it,
but they're all club.
It's not. So it's never been the priority of people because there's money involved.
Yeah.
But of the fans, the French team is still more important than club.
Okay.
It is a priority. The French team is more important than clubs to most people.
Yeah.
But the problem is that you have two instances. You have the FFR, which is the equivalent of the RFU, and you have the LNR, which is the Ligue Nationale de Rugby. So they're the guys who organise the leagues, and they have very different interests.
Smashed it.
Yeah, my French accent's bang on, mate.
Mine's not.
I got Rosetta Stone actually for Christmas, so I'm gonna be learning French over the year. Maybe I'll Skype with Fred.
Do a podcast in French.
I'll Skype with Fred. And we'll do a French podcast.
Yeah, we could do it.
It would just be Fred talking, and I'd just be like,
Rugby.
Yeah,
and
So that we'll...
Ici ça va post-production.
I haven't started it yet.
I thought you'd at least get that.
You'd be surprised at how little
I said this
French
is post-production
Shout
stuff.
loud in English in the point.
That'll be an Easter egg. You shouldn't have said what I said. All the French listeners would be like, wait, he's taking the mic. That'd have been good. So the sound levels have been all over the shop.
Have they?
All the way throughout.
All the moving
depending
about,
on whether we're too close,
eating.
whether we're eating a muffin or a cookie. So, that's a crunch, isn't it? Oh my god. Oh, what's that? That's the binaural, when you put the headphones in either ear and you can hear them eating around your head. We're not doing that at the moment.
Oh, you could add that in.
No, you have to record with two microphones. I do know how to do it.
When the music's playing, you should do that with it. Cookie eating coming through.
I think I do know how to do it, but I either need a false head mannequin thing or two microphones.
I know what I was going to. It's Tuolangi, broken again.
Oh yeah.
Nobody saw that coming.
But a whole new injury.
Yeah, I know.
And everybody's telling me that's a good thing. And I was like, is it a good thing, or does he have one more thing that's weaker on him?
Well, yeah, he's going to turn into Tom Croft at this rate, whereby everything is broken and the slightest nudge will put him out for a few weeks. But he's out for 6 months. He's got a cruciate ligament.
Oh, he's gone. And Rob Shaw's out for Six Nations.
This upsets me greatly because I don't think he's ever missed a game through injury.
Yeah.
Or he's missed one.
It was similar to Faletau, who's missed one Welsh game through injury.
And now Bath have broken him.
And Bath broken, yeah. But we're missing the Vula Polar brothers, Six Nations.
Both of them.
Both out.
Mako.
That's a massive miss.
Fuck.
Both out. And Marla's been bigging up Mako, saying I cannot compete, Mako. You're on another level. And then Mako gets injured. Now Marla's got to step in, obviously, and do a job.
I mean, thank God we've got some. But also, Cruz is a bit broken. Launchbury's a bit broken. I think they might play, but they're still.
Launchbury's back. I think Launchbury.
He's back.
He's back.
He's kind of. Cruz has got a fractured cheek.
Because no one's touching on fantasy. This is obviously fantasy, but this is how I judge whether they're injured or not. Is no one's touching Launchbury. They don't want to because they don't know if he's gonna stick around or go off injured again. So yeah, he's been dropped.
But I mean, suppose with Tuolangi, the fact that it's a new injury is bad because he's injured, which is shit. But I suppose people are trying to take solace in the fact that
it's different.
It's because it's not the same groin injury that's hankered him for however long that perhaps he might actually genuinely be over that.
The groin's is repaired, and maybe it's just this knee.
Yeah. No, the thing is, when
I don't know.
he's injured his groin so many times, and he's so powerful as well. He's gonna get injured at some point.
Have I heard he's not allowed to weight train at Tigers? Because he gets but not like.
How do you think he got this big?
Well, no, that I'm trying to.
So I was hearing that they're not paying his salary through the normal means because when you're injured, you get paid through insurance.
Oh, really?
So I think that
his insurer must be very happy.
Yeah, so
Aviva.
I think he's been insured. That was very good. That might be. They might actually get all the insurance. I don't know. They might do. But anyway, apparently, he's getting his salary paid through insurance. I don't know how much of that's true.
Fair if it is true, because the amount of time he's spent injured recently.
Yeah,
he's on a lot of money for Tigers. I'm sure. Like, got to be one of their top play players.
So I don't know
I think
if
he's number one.
That's
what.
I think he's a marquee player. Yeah. I think
he's number one in the Aviva.
Oh right.
Oh really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why.
Wow.
No, Pickhamall's up there, isn't he?
Possibly.
I thought they were paying Pickhamall
I thought even. I suppose because I thought maybe I'm thinking about this the wrong way. But I often thought that players that came through were often kept at reasonable rates. I suppose because he's been at Tigers since he was like 16. So that's what he's 25 now.
Yeah.
Well, so I suppose his international credit will, give him fairly good.
Well, everyone was banging on about Slade might be moving to Bath after Ford goes.
All right.
And there was this big chat about this guy who said he was an insider. He said that Slade and Devoto weren't getting on very well. And then on that Facebook post that he did, Slade and Devoto were like, "What is this about?" And then Devoto's like, "He's chatting rubbish," or whatever. Like they just had a conversation underneath it on Facebook, and I was just like, "Oh my god, this guy looks like a right idiot."
I think I've got the actual answer, but it's from a website called Rugby Lad, so it's
probably not particularly credible.
Load of crap.
Isn't that basically just Facebook?
And now it says Manu Tuilangi's new Leicester contract makes him the highest paid player in the Premiership, and then that's not what it said in the list. And there it is. 2016-17. So Tuilangi's number one, Pickhamall's
is second.
Brown, Robshaw, Danny Kerr,
John
Cipriani.
Afoa?
Oh. Yeah, he's a tight head prop. Tight props make a lot of money.
Do they?
Yeah. Because if they're not here, you're fucked.
It's true.
That's true.
Scrum, don't you?
Chris Ashton, well, he's fucking off anyway. Joe Launchbury. Go Joe Launchbury.
George North,
I know
Launchbury. He's Wasps captain.
I tell you what, look at this quiz.
Chris Ashton.
Brown, Robshaw,
that's the funniest
Kerr.
one. Is Bruce Priestland making £290,000?
Has Launchbury only been captain while Haskell's been injured? Or was he captain before?
Yes. No. He's been made captain
because of that.
Yeah.
How's he doing?
Haskell's on the bench, isn't he?
Haskell's not playing yet. He's still like
no,
broke.
He's on the bench.
Is he?
Yeah, he's making a return. He's on the bench.
Oh, just this week.
Sweet.
Yeah. I
That'd be
saw
good.
a big tweet.
That means we're going to get less of the bants.
Less of the bants.
He's been amazing.
So interesting. One player I want to talk about is Thomas Young.
Yeah, Di Young's boy.
Have you seen how many people on the sub have gone like, "Oh yeah, he's a typical 7, but we have too many," and it's like he's playing 6. So just shut the fuck up about 6 and 7 already.
It makes no difference. He's playing really fucking
and he's amazing. Yeah. He's phenomenal.
His handoff is monster. And I think he's pretty squat. I don't know
Look at that.
Comparison to everyone.
Look at that back row. Thomas Young, Guy Thompson, Nathan Hughes. Haskell's going to have to be good at training to come back in.
Well, Alex Reeder as well. Is that how you say his name? Reeder? He's been playing off the bench in back row for Wasps. He's not on the bench today because Haskell's taken his spot. Yeah. But he's been playing really well as well.
Mayo in the second row has been excellent.
I had him in my fantasy team.
Martin Moore,
and then he got
amazing.
dropped.
Taylor, Matt Mullen.
Tommy Taylor's brilliant. We've had a couple of good. So Tommy Taylor and Thacker. Yeah. I like those two at hooker.
Yeah, they're not as big. They're the new breed of hookers.
They're really small.
They're like a cross between. I feel like there's a spectrum.
About this large.
But I mean, because Jamie George is on one side of the spectrum where he's got all the skill in the world, but he's also a fucking big unit.
He's a barrel.
He is genuine a barrel. He's so fat.
Yeah. Because it looks like he ate everything in the fridge and then ate the fridge for good measure in the same way. Is it Samson Lee looks a bit like that as well?
Well, they called him
Stabber. But Samson Lee is nowhere near the level of Jamie George. Jamie George is one of the best hookers in the world.
One of my favourite. I've said it a few times now, but he's amazing. But so you've got there, and then you've got the players that you've got Tommy Taylor, who is a lot more, I don't know, lithe perhaps. But
he's pretty stacked.
They don't look anything like each other, and they probably have a fairly similar game.
Yeah. But it's the disparity between the two is incredible. But Tommy Taylor's game is still brilliant. What's LCD doing at the moment?
He's playing quite well.
He's playing all right. Is he? He came off the bench the other day to set up
shorts. Is that just rotation, or is that?
It's a bit of rotation, a bit of
falling out of form.
Well, no. The problem is that him and Slade when they started at the beginning of the season, we lost a few games. And so Baxter was kind of like, okay, we'll go back to what we were doing last season. Then we started winning again. So I don't know if it's a mental thing or something, but Baxter's going to have to really introduce that in a different way, I think.
Yeah.
He got stripped off the ball by Ford. And then as he was getting stripped, he reached out and flicked it over the winger's head. And short caught it and scored in the corner.
Oh, I think I saw that.
So that was good skill and at the same time not very good because he got stripped by George Ford.
Who was the player?
I really want to see.
Who was the player that Itoje basically robbed of the ball with that
That
steal?
was also.
Yeah.
That was a Wasp play. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the one he did last week, which is the football dive.
Oh, that was amazing. That
was really weird.
That was off Ford, wasn't it?
It's really weird. No, it was a 10.
It was a 10 kicking. And
Ford, wasn't it?
Oh, Ford. I thought you said
kicking?
forward. No, it wasn't against Bath, was it?
Was it?
I don't know. No, Bath were playing Exeter last week.
Okay. I'm just...
But no, it was a great block with his foot right outstretched.
Yeah, but it's kind of a thing where I think I heard something about the referee going like, yeah, there's no problem with it. It's perfectly legal. I would advise not to don't try this at home.
Want to do it because you don't want to do it
hit
again.
someone's shin instead, you're getting red carded.
Yeah. It's so close. It's perfect. It's so close from being a red card.
But it is. He executed it just absurdly well.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I heard he was on the Rugby Tonight. You know, the show they bring it out as a podcast as well.
Oh,
I was listening to that, and they asked they had George Cruz on, and they asked him if it was
Leicester. It was Owen Williams.
Said, we think it's we heard it's been trained.
Oh, really?
That's Harry's, and it was like, yeah, basically, yeah.
Wow.
He didn't just come up with that.
No, he probably did. They're just making excuses for how incredibly talented he is.
Yeah, but you know what I love?
I don't think anyone's making excuses. Everyone likes Itoje.
I love that stuff like that being trained because you hear about stuff like Lewis Moody, who used to dive at the people's feet to block the ball.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking to myself, that can't be the most effective way.
That's probably why he ended up so, squashed in the face.
But I just don't think that's an effective way of charging down a kick.
Yeah.
Because if I was to charge down a kick, I'd spread myself like a goalkeeper and
try and block it high
and get hit in the balls. Yeah. I'd try and pretend I was Courtois or one of the famous keepers or Neuer or whatever.
I don't know those people.
Yeah, but I'd try and pretend I was those and try and block the ball.
I went so far when I tried to block the ball. It's like,
I
just put one hand up there. I tried.
What's it? Mike Brown, where against Ireland in 2014? Dreco kicks the ball and he just jumps on it like
I can't remember
the best keeper ever.
Yes, I remember that. That was awesome.
Moments like that, they're so very rare in rugby.
But that's what I mean. That's the most effective way of stopping a ball because that's
but that was it. It was a shank kick. It was a crap kick, and he looked like a goalkeeper. Just dived and got it. It's amazing.
I kind of expect Laundry to be doing that kind of stuff at some stage, just because of how he just goes around
or Itoje,
spilled ball. Yeah,
he's the kind of players who would do that. Yeah,
I think it's you react. On instinct.
Barrett kind of did one as well in the Super Rugby where he tried a kick through. I think it was a grubber, and it was really completely missed. It hit someone's foot, and he jumped up just above his head. So he just caught the ball and ran 45 metres and scored the try.
Yeah, I mean,
I was like, that was so lucky, but of course it's Barrett, so no one's going to catch him. It's gone.
There's an element of luck to everything Barrett does, but then it happens so often that you're like, it's not luck. None of it's luck. No. It's all skill. It's terrifying. Obviously, his brother's going to come through as well and do exactly the same thing.
Geordie. He's got.
He's taller.
Geordie's the other back because you've got Kane, who's a second row as well.
Scott Barrett.
Is it Scott? It's Scott. Kane's the one who was a hooker and retired.
Oh. I thought Geordie was the talented one.
Geordie's the youngest one, and
he's meant to be the more talented.
Apparently, he's meant to be the best.
Which is ridiculous when you've got
the
Bowden Barrett's current CV.
The World Rugby Player of the Year. He's got a better brother.
Is this it? Oh yeah, what a take!
That was so cool.
Ridiculous.
That's a goalkeeper take. Yeah. That's a great take. We'll have to find a way.
It's even a shorter distance than I thought in my head.
It's not that it's a shanked kick. O'Driscoll basically volleys it. He doesn't catch it. It lands, and
he did that against Wasps, didn't he?
Oh yeah, the little chip over and the chip over.
I remember watching that game, and it with a mate who doesn't really watch rugby, who's a massive football fan, watches 4 or 5 games a day, things like that. and we were watching that, and it was like 0-0, 3-0 at half time, and he was like, "That is such a good game." I was like, "Yeah, it actually is an amazing game." I've never seen a game being so good with such a shit score.
I love it when games are really good with poor scores. It makes rugby feel better because you can have really.
Because sometimes you see 20-all and it's a shit game, and then you've got 3-0. It's amazing.
I'm trying to when France toured Australia a couple of years ago.
Oh, the 6-0 one.
Was that the worst game ever? Or?
It was so bad. It was so terrible.
I don't think I saw the game.
I woke up in the morning to watch that.
3-0 after 6-0 after 80 minutes is something. It's quite impressive in and of itself. It's some of the most I think it's impressive when you have a high-scoring draw in rugby because of how varied the scores can be for it to align.
Yeah, that's what the game is for.
To have
29-alls.
Have such a low-scoring game after 80 minutes is just, I think.
Was it Ireland Wales that was dire? There was one game.
When?
There's always two or three shit games
like
in
Six
Nations.
It was just so bad. I think it involved Wales.
If it was 2015, everything kind of felt shit in comparison to the last day. If it was
the last game, to be fair,
that
the last
whole day
was
was amazing.
Actually, I think it was 2015. I think it was the week before. Everyone was still on a knife edge.
Even worse by comparison. Because I was at Twickenham for the France game, and it was just.
Well, when Noel scored,
magical,
and then the French came back and ruined it.
My favourite moment, I was like looking straight down when Young's almost got what's his face out of the pitch by like a blade of grass, and.
Well, I still remember Cruz crashing over when we were there.
Oh, yeah,
that was great. The
60-40 game or.
Well, no, 50-30. The Calcutta Cup lost.
Calcutta Cup, we were sitting behind the post.
Oh no, but I mean the France England one.
55-55.
Yeah, there you go.
That's.
You lot scored too much. That was the issue. It was England scored a lot, and then France scored more.
But also, we could. It's right at the very end. We could have got we could have clinched it. We could have clinched the championship win in the very end with.
To me, that's like the biggest like cool day of rugby I've had. So it was like we had a day out when it was an early kickoff against a touring French team. So it was a club 15, which means like it's much better. You have port at half time, and you're really not playing for the rugby. And so players in that squad went from the second to the 15.
Yeah.
And we lost by a point, I think, to this touring team who were drinking just as much as us. And then we stopped that, shower, go and watch the first team. They drew, got promoted. That was the last game of the season. And then we went to the pub with 50 Englishmen and 25 Frenchmen, all pissed watching that. That is a good memory. That was a good day for rugby.
I wish I could. I don't know why that one stands out, and I suppose it stands out because of the story. But I'm sure there have been days, particularly in the summer, where it's difficult in the autumn because lots of games are happening at the same time. But summer's gone past where you can get through an entire day because games are happening in New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, Argentina, USA, and Japan, all at different time zones.
You wake up on a Saturday morning.
I know. I'm sure I had days where at midnight I started one game, and then at like 10 in the evening I was finishing the last game, and it's.
I tell you what, I think football can do that, but it doesn't because. Who's going to go and watch the Brazilian A-League because they're not interested, Whereas for rugby, the leagues that exist, so for example, the New Zealand League, Japan, they've all got a time zone that kind of fits around the world.
For club rugby itself with Super Top League.
Just getting to the point where we could watch anything. It was interesting to me. I wake up in the morning, watch Super Rugby. So that'd be the New Zealand game first, probably. Then the Aussie game. Then there'll be a South African game. Then there'll be a Viva Prem, Pro 12. Or if I'm light on that, maybe top 14.
When in June when the Euro was on, I went to a mate's to watch. We watched Wales New Zealand 7:30 in the morning.
Nice.
Then we watched England Australia. It was the second or third test.
Yeah,
brilliant game.
Then we watched. Ireland. Ireland play football in the Euro.
Okay,
and then we watched another rugby game. I can't remember which one.
South Africa, probably.
Yeah, Ireland, South Africa. Yeah, exactly. And we spend the entire day drinking in front of the TV. It's brilliant
because they're great days. Because it's.
You feel really. I mean,
like if you've I actually got a Fitbit, enjoyed watching football that day.
If you've got a Fitbit, it's like you haven't walked. You haven't done anything.
No. But
we've gone there and back to the corner shop 3 times.
Does that register heartbeat or?
Yeah, it's got my BPM.
My
74 at the moment. My resting 66. So
it's honestly
a little bit up.
It would be. I should probably just invest just to see what it's like.
Yeah.
Games where I get fully invested in the result are I've said this many times. I become very animated.
Yeah.
I'm normally very sedentary, very lazy, very idle.
I'm wondering
But
if we
it's-
stick a camera on you
That's
and then
the-
just do
Well, no,
like,
that's the
Ed
thing.
cam.
If
or
you just
something.
Very
have, like,
insulting the Welsh.
If honestly a Wales game, it's
burning a
probably worse
Welsh
because
flag
I'm
in the background, just
There's
casually.
Sheepshaggers!
put a camera above the TV and just because when it
Goggle
starts,
box.
Yeah.
I start most games.
Oh,
that
we've
are
just
like,
invented Gogglebox. Talk about innovation there, guys. Jesus.
They don't do sport though; they just do shitty reality TV.
It's true.
So that
But
we
they-
You're gonna-
it's-
but this is the way to make
No,
sport
no, this-
shit.
no, this-
We've invented it.
just have like you just need to cut it down to the big moments, like when we get scored against or when we score,
And then put it on YouTube,
Or some-
reaction video.
I'm just thinking when, for
All
instance,
the money. I'm seeing it.
I
Yeah,
think
go on.
okay for like the sevens, the Fiji Great Britain final.
Mhm.
I probably cheered for every single try. Perhaps the GB one slightly more than the others, but it gets me launching out of my chair and pumping my arm and screaming. And it's that France game. I think must have had it got to the point where it becomes silly, where I'm constantly up down, constantly launching about, and it gets to on those long days. That final day of the Six Nations in 2015. The next 2 or 3 days after, I couldn't talk properly because I scream myself hoarse. My throat dries up. And so
thank
it's,
God you don't
You were
drink
hyped.
coffee.
You were hyped.
I get
Ed doesn't drink coffee.
I get so
Imagine
hyped.
that on coffee.
Or alcohol.
Mother of God, does that need to be hyped up?
Coffee and
Fine.
Red Bull before the rugby,
Jesus
and
Christ.
then I'd have a heart attack.
You would.
But no, I'm probably.
Wait,
So,
what?
so you sat down there watching.
Sat
do you
there,
watch it
I
off
get-
that
That's
one?
what I
Yeah.
do every Saturday.
But the upstairs, I
Coffee, Red Bull,
had
alcohol.
in 2012.
Yeah.
That would kill me. I
Yeah.
can't.
I do that every Saturday.
In
You
2012,
wake up,
when-
coffee, pre-game, Red Bull, post-game.
When we
beer.
played New Zealand, when we beat New Zealand,
Yeah.
the chair that I was watching on, there is a noticeable
You caused a dent.
bend in where the main stick of the chair meets the thing that the actual thing is on. It's slightly,
Well,
it's jumping up and down, bouncing up and down, yelling,
you
screaming.
watch a game with the camera. I don't
waving
care if it gives
about.
me 80 minutes. We'll cut it down to the key points and see if it's worth having a watch. 'Cause
Should
it might
be, should
actually
be
quite
a
fun.
general,
Yeah.
a general.
Just live stream
Sorry, angle, or should be just on his
Just
face.
a profile of the face.
Yeah.
It could be just a profile. No, because he'd jump up and then it'd be out.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
really
that'd be
funny
shit.
because then you see his chest for a second.
Bouncing up and down.
Maybe have a T-shirt with like a picture of Robshaw or something, and
Yeah.
when you jump, you see his face.
I know.
Back down.
In what was it? There were
That would be
in the
niche,
replays of the Wales England game in it must have been 2015 as well, because I went to that game as well. I think I took my mum as a birthday present. But there was
Your birthday or hers?
hers.
Whose present is it really?
Well, I got to go to Cardiff. I got to go to the Millennium Stadium. It was fantastic.
That was my point.
It was a very, very selfish gift, but it was also quite selfless as well. But there was in the reactions on Reddit, I mentioned that I was going, and a bit later on, someone had said, "I think I found Wallopy Joe," and there's this older fan just like screaming like like that. And it's, but do you remember after the World Cup, the game that definitely didn't happen, where I think Wales might have played in England, perhaps
Oh, okay.
did something. I'm fairly sure they didn't play each other.
We
in the
may
World
have
Cup.
kicked to the corner.
But
I
if,
don't know. But yeah.
if that game had happened, there
We
was a
talked
video,
about the
there was a video
2015 World
of Lone Grufford celebrating in front of the TV, and he was basically just in his underwear and maybe probably trousers as well, but I'm pretty sure he was shirtless. His wife is filming him watch the rugby, and he is going fucking mental watching it with the "come on" repeatedly over and over again.
I'm seeing this.
It's so good.
We should probably wrap it up.
Yeah, we've been doing this a while.
It's been an hour and a half.
We can cut 3/4 of it.
None of it will be cut.
Do
This is the first. So
Can I
we're
just-
all in the same room.
Yeah.
This is the first. I'll explain this post-production Sav. Post-production Sav.
When
will
is the music
explain
going to be
this.
playing now, or is that going to come a bit later on?
It's already,
You have a
it's
piano
playing
there.
it. Play it on the piano.
No, it's turned off. Well, maybe.
No, it's off. It's off.
Oh, it's unplugged.
The plug is there.
We're waiting to take
So
In
we
the
can't
air.
play on the piano. The music will be playing.
What I was going to say is
By the way, the muffin
Yeah.
really good.
Thank you.
Is it banana and chocolate?
Yeah, banana and chocolate chip. There is also a bit of ground almonds
All right.
and malt powder.
Quality, genuinely. Enjoyed it.
Because I really wanted to do this when we came up to Scotland, because I thought, have us all in the same room, and I think this might be, as much as I like doing I think as a concept or as a execution wise, this I feel has worked a lot better because we're in the same room. So as rare as it might be,
so much easier.
We'll see what the audio's like as well, though, to be honest.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I'll stop that.
Oh, you're stopping recording now? I've not slagged off the whales enough yet.
Oh, he's doing it again. He's doing it again.
Fuck Wales.
That was Fred, that wasn't me.
Fuck Wales.
I get a pass.
Right, I'll stop.